award-winning Tennessee WildCast is on the air with the latest on hunting, fishing, boating, wildlife watching, and all things outdoors. Make welcome your host, drummer and outdoor expert novice, Jason Harmon.
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Tennessee WildCast. We're glad you're tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We are once again at the Tellico Hatchery in Tellico, Tennessee. We have Mr. Mark Thurman. He's a regional fisheries program manager with us. Also, Shannon O'Quinn with TWRA. He's a water resource specialist. And as always, when we're in Region 3, we have Miss Mimi Barnes with us co-hosting.
Happy to be here.
And we're glad she's here with us. We're glad everybody's here and looking forward to today's show. A lot goes on here at the hatchery, and we're going to highlight some of the special projects that we're doing along with TVA support, and it's going to be fun. So thanks for being here, guys.
Excellent. Great to be here.
We're going to get started. Tell us a little bit about yourselves. Mark, we'll start with you. You're the Regional Fisheries Program Manager and do a lot for the agency and have worked your way up and a familiar face to most people that are fans of the agency.
All right. Well, as you said, I've been here for a little while. This is actually my 33rd year of working with the agency in some capacity.
Cool.
And it's been a great place to work. Currently managing a regional fisheries program. Out of our program, we manage fisheries, warm water fisheries like you would associate with the big reservoirs, and fisheries at community lakes like municipality lakes and state park lakes. We're also very involved in managing fisheries in streams, whether it's cool water streams, your smallmouth, rock bass type streams, to places like we're at today, cold water resources, and then as well the tailwaters immediately downstream of some of our hydropower projects that we manage cold water fisheries in.
Cool. All right.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's how do you get all your work done during the day?
We've got good people.
Yeah,
got good people.
Very
Good people. So Shannon, tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do for TVA?
All right, I work for TVA in our Natural Resource Stewardship Department, and I've been working there for about 20 years now. My main job is to work with partners like TWRA to implement water quality, habitat improvement projects all across the Tennessee Valley. And we have this plan called the Natural Resource Plan. Again, my main job is to implement the water resource portion of the Natural Resource Plan, but we do a lot of other stewardship work. Manage TVA land or public land around TVA reservoirs that the public can use, and for recreational opportunities, to view wildlife, to hunt. So that natural resource plan guides us, and my job is to implement the water resource portion of it.
With your position, I'm sure you love to be outdoors as well. Do you get outside much?
Oh yeah, I love to fish. I've always said I've got two different fishing personalities.
Okay. Can you share this on the air?
Yeah. Well, I like to fly fish. I'm a member of Trout Unlimited, and I get out and enjoy these trout as much as I can. I like being in the high mountain streams, catching brook trout. And the other thing I like to do is fish on the reservoirs. I'm a tournament fisherman, so I like to catch smallmouth and largemouth bass.
Cool.
And if I'm not tournament fishing, any other fish that'll bite.
Yeah. That's how I am. Whatever's biting, I'm fishing. So, okay. All right. Well, Mark, let's jump into a quick overview of the hatchery. Tell us about what goes on here, a little bit about what happens here at Tellico.
All right. Well, Tellico Hatchery is a big part of managing cold water fisheries, not only in our region, in our immediate work area, but a large part of the state. The things most often associated with Tellico are the fisheries in the Tellico River, Citico Creek, Green Cove Pond, but our reach goes out beyond that. We are part of getting fish to the tailwaters and the reservoirs from Middle Tennessee, the TVA projects and core projects in Middle Tennessee, all the way up to the northeast corner of the state. And the staff here is involved in that. And then we're also involved in work like we're going to talk about today, restoration of our only native trout, the Southern Appalachian brook trout. And the staff here is a big part of that, and other people in the program as well. We all work together on all of this, and so this facility here has a big hand in a lot of the fishing that takes place in a lot of the state.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, Mark, I think you're the one probably can answer this best. Why are we here today? What tell us about that that partnership?
Well, as we were talking earlier, I think throughout my career, I've always worked with TVA on fisheries work, and have been a great partner, and throughout that time, and it that partnership goes all the way back to the early days of working on fisheries in Tennessee. But today we're here to recognize the support that we've gotten from the Tennessee Valley Authority to further our brook trout restoration work, a fish that's very important to Tennessee, and the support that we've been able to get from TVA with Grant to enhance our brook trout building here behind us has been it's been a really good thing to have.
So,
Shannon, can you add to that?
Yeah. You're good. Yeah.
Shannon, can you add to that and talk about that grant? And
Yeah. So, like Mark said, we've worked with TWRA for years. Ever since I've been working for TVA, I've been involved with projects with TWRA. But this particular pot of funding that we had, we were working with the Little Tennessee Native Fish Conservation Partnership. And it's a partnership of a lot of different agencies and organizations, and they're focused on protecting aquatic biodiversity in the Little Tennessee River watershed. And so, every year we're a part of that partnership, and every year we try to do things with that partnership to try to improve and protect that habitat and aquatic biodiversity. And in this past year, we were able to give some funding to help purchase some equipment that you all could use to upgrade your facilities, and we're really proud of that. That's one thing that TVA can help do is get out and work with those partners and provide resources to help partners to improve the management of the resource, and that's what we do all over the valley. We not only are working with the native brook trout, but we're working with other fish across the valley. We work with other organizations to propagate and reintroduce threatened and endangered species, from darters to mussels, lake sturgeon, just a variety of other projects that we're involved with. So
awesome. And then I had a note here, some fish monitoring. Tell us a little bit about some of the fish monitoring y'all are doing.
Yeah, so TVA, ever since the early 90s, TVA has been monitoring fish communities all across the Tennessee Valley. There's over 525 sites that we monitor, and we're looking at fish health and diversity. And those 500 some sites are on a 5-year rotation. We typically monitor about 100 of those sites a year, and we share that information with our partners like TWRA, so they can use that information to help manage the fisheries and the water resources out there in the valley.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So, go ahead, Jason.
Well, I was thinking about the facility here. With these funds, what's been some of the updates you've been able to do here?
Well, we've been able to add some equipment that helps us deal with any kind of water temperature issues we have and other water quality issues, some chillers, some pumps, and have plans to also invest in some equipment that helps us deal with other aspects of water quality like nitrogen in the water, and just really take this facility to a point that even if we have, as some pretty warm summers of late, and seeing kind of changes just in this area in conditions, we can mitigate those conditions and keep the conditions inside that facility stable, and get our fish raised and get them out to these sites that we're doing our restoration work. So yeah, it's been it'll really help us maintain the productivity of the facility.
Awesome.
I know TVA has worked on some other projects with trout, and we've talked about some of the other bigger projects that TVA has worked on. You mentioned a dam removal, I believe, earlier.
Yeah. Again, we work with partnerships across the valley, and we worked with TWRA, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, and the Forest Service, Trout Unlimited.
Mm-hmm. Bless you.
Excuse me.
And we basically helped remove a bridge that went across a stream in Unicoi County, Tennessee, and that opened up about 6 miles of habitat for native brook trout. And we've worked on that project, and we're also working with this larger group in the state of Tennessee that is working on removing barriers in Tennessee just like that. So there's hundreds of those barriers throughout the state of Tennessee, and that's one of the things that we could do, and what could be one of the most impactful things that we can do to create additional habitat is remove those barriers. Low head dams, mills, things that these dams or barriers that aren't being used anymore. And so we'll probably be working on other projects like that in the future. And since I mentioned dams, I just wanted to talk about TVA and our dams. We have several dams where these trout get that are raised in this hatchery get stocked in our tailwaters. And TVA over the years has implemented a reservoir release improvement program, which is focused on putting oxygen back into the tailwaters and making sure that there's enough water in the tailwaters to support the trout fisheries and the food that they eat. And TVA has been doing that for several years, and it's made some of our tailwaters some of the best trout fisheries in the eastern portion of the United States.
They are, and the significance of doing this brook trout work now, I think, and whether it's barrier removal or the culture work that we're doing here, we've got along the Blue Ridge Mountains down the Tennessee-North Carolina border, we've got fragment, populations scattered out all along there, and it's a good time to be doing work that enhances the resiliency of those populations, whether it's bringing them into a hatchery and propagating those fish and putting them in unoccupied streams that are suitable. We're doing a lot of work right now with temperature loggers in streams down here on the South Cherokee, evaluating habitat for future work. And the barrier removal that Shannon mentioned, that's very important work in building some resiliency into the streams that we have left that are free flowing. And then in the ones that are regulated by dams, the kind of things that TVA's put in place has really improved the habitat. And it's one of those things in fisheries management, you're working with regulated artificial systems and then natural systems and streams like we have in the Blue Ridge. So really neat work and timely to be able to get moving with keeping these brook trout out on the landscape.
I know one thing that you taught me, Mark, with dam removal, those low head dam removals, in the aquatics world, we don't often get to increase or add habitat.
Right.
And I think the work that TVA is accomplishing there is phenomenal. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, and like I said, TVA works with partners. A lot of the partners like TWRA, they're responsible for the resource, for the fisheries resource, but we're there in the background trying to support the management of that resource. And that's one of the things we'd like for people to know is that, as a part of managing the Tennessee River system, we're out there working with all these partners to try to help manage those resources so they can use them. They can use them to fish, they can use them to kayak on. We've got a beautiful valley. Tennessee, state of Tennessee is beautiful, and the outdoor experiences are unlimited, and we like to promote that.
Awesome. You speak about the kayak opportunities. Bringing those low-head dams out and things like that provides access opportunities as well.
Provides access opportunities and removes some safety hazards where you can, and then again, just the reestablishing connectivity. It doesn't really matter what scale you're working at. Anytime that you can remove any kind of connectivity impediments, it's beneficial to a stream, no matter what size it is, really.
So back to the Tellico project, Mark, just clarify a little bit for me, if you would. When talk about what was going on with maybe oxygen content in the water or water temperatures here, that all those. Why do brook trout need those conditions?
Brook trout are a cold water fish, and in the places where they're currently, where they currently live in the mountains, it's clean cold water. And we have clean cold water here, but we're kind of farther down the watershed, and we can get some warmer water in the summer, and so you've got to maintain a similar condition and environment in your hatchery facility that the fish live in out in the wild. And sometimes that's easier than other times. And the equipment we've been able to add will help us, again, keep that environment in a matching way of what it is out in the wild for these fish.
Because here at the hatchery, they're actually using the streams around here as
got a couple of
as a
streams that
source.
flow through this building behind us that provide the water for the brook trout work.
Okay.
Yeah, and actually all the water used here is from natural flowing streams.
Yes,
right? Yeah.
it's gravity fed, runs through. We got intakes on the Tellico River and up at Sycamore Creek. Sycamore Creek's a site that we've been working on brook trout restoration and seen some ground gained in that stream, and we've got our eyes set on a couple of sites over in the Tellico Creek watershed. And the fish that we currently have in here are from in Upper East Tennessee, up in the French Broad area. With this work, we're going to be able to enhance our production and cover more ground or more water.
Yeah,
There you go.
I think it's one of the things that impacts me is that it's just not about putting fish in a bowl.
No.
It's a little more than that.
There's all this hatchery work that takes place, but then there's all this other work that no one agency can do it by themselves, but we're joining into partnerships to really make positive environmental changes for the future.
Right. One of the things I wanted to mention, and TVA got involved with this project because, again, we're trying to protect aquatic biodiversity. In the Tennessee River watershed, there's over 240 different fish species in the Tennessee watershed, and that's compared to other watersheds in North America, it's there's probably no other watershed that has that many fish species in it. And so we're out there trying to work with our partners to try to protect the native fish that live in the Tennessee River system, and the southern strain brook trout is one of them.
Mm-hmm. And it's kind of a neat thing to see over our careers, the formation of working groups and partnerships that bring a whole lot of resources together. It enhances the communication so that everybody knows what's going on within some geographical area like the Little Tennessee watershed. But to see kind of the networking that's taking place is really encouraging in our profession.
It is. It's amazing. The Little Tennessee River Fish Native Fish Partnership. I mean, the thing about it is everybody that's on that partnership and other partnerships all across the state. Everybody that's sitting at the table have different goals, but we also have some common goals, and we can work together to identify those common goals to bring in additional resources. Not just one agency can do it all, like you said before. I mean, one agency might be able to bring funding, one agency might be able to bring labor, one agency may be able to bring technical resources to the table. And when we put all those together, we can make good things happen.
This is your first time to the hatchery, Shannon?
This is my first time. and I can guarantee I will be back in this area. It is a beautiful area. I mean, the only thing that I can think about is getting my rod out and fishing all the way up the river,
Yep.
So I always say, and Jason and I have said it countless times, but it's an unassuming place for the amount of work that comes out of it. It's just, I'm overwhelmed with pride, when I see the great environmental work being done, and not just by TWRA, obviously, as an employee, but with the partnerships too. So to come to a place like this and see I call it the hut. I don't know. That's probably, I hope it's not a negative.
The Brook Trout hut? No, that's not a negative. No.
The Brook Trout. I see this little tiny building and the work that's able to come out of it because of those partnerships, and that it's far-reaching. The trout work out of here, not just for TVA but TWRA, that has a much further reach than someone might see when they're visiting for the first time.
Yeah, and the good thing about this hatchery, when we were getting a tour of it earlier, you all were talking about how many people come through here in the summertime. Maybe 60 people will be in here at a time. And the thing about it is, it's very good for people to be able to see what resources go in to maintaining the fish, the fishing opportunities out there. And it's not just the agencies that are responsible for managing the resource, but the people that use it too. And I think it's really good for people to understand what goes on, so they can also help manage the resource in the future.
Speaking of the hut here, and we should get a sign for it. Maybe the hut?
I don't know. We'll
They
work
have
on
their
that.
own
There's
way.
a lot going on behind those doors.
A lot.
There's a lot going on.
But I looked and see the older ponds and raceways here, and talk a little bit about the struggles and some of the things that you had. We're working with old gear and old equipment and old raceways and meshing in the new.
Well, it's interesting when you look behind you. Those pools go all the way back to the Civilian Conservation Corps, and that's who built this original hatchery. And over the years, it's come under our management as the Tennessee Fish and Game Commission, and then later on the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. And we're still using these original pools to raise trout, and then you look around you and you see the other raceways that are being used to raise fish. And there's a story here and a history to this whole place. And just it tells the story of the agency working to manage fisheries and provide fishing opportunities, like Shannon said, and there is a lot that goes into it, from when the fish are little eggs to getting them into the water. So that's one of the things when I come up here and look at all of this. You see a history here, and we're part of it.
Yeah. So was this building originally used for brook trout?
In the early 90s was the first time they fixed the building up and started raising some fish. There was a break there for a little while, and then I'm going to say within the last 10 years had gotten some partnerships with Trout Unlimited. Again, partnerships.
Yeah.
We keep talking about partnerships. And the Forest Service, a great partner in getting this facility back up and running. And we still have support from Trout Unlimited to do this work. There was from its beginnings, operated for a few years, and then a break. And now we've got it back in operation and doing some really good work with it. The staff here has done a great job, and we've tweaked the process a little bit and learning over the years the way to maximize production, and it's in full swing now.
Awesome.
And we'll continue, I mean, with the grant
Sure.
and continued partnerships. And I'd be remiss if I didn't take the opportunity to say thank you to TVA. Yep. We partner with them in so many ways, and we're grateful.
Well, we're thankful to have partners like you all too. I mean, not just with protecting aquatic biodiversity, just tomorrow, we're going to have an event up on the Watauga River where we worked with TWRA to install a handicap fishing pier on the Watauga River.
That's awesome.
So we do a lot of things with TWRA, and we hope to continue that in the future. Because we're hoping that our partnership can help provide a lot more opportunities for the people in the valley that are out enjoying the outdoors, the environment, and we're looking forward to future work with TWRA as well.
Well, I know Jason will tag you in this podcast, TVA, but if someone wants to find out more, I mean, we have people contact us all the time to ask about hunting your land, and we send them to your website. But if someone wants to find out more about the programming that you all offer and the lands that you work on, where do they go? Yeah,
so go to tva.gov, and you can find, a lot of different things out about, where to hunt, where to fish, where we have biking trails and hiking trails on TVA land, and just go to tva.gov and you can find that out.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we've made it clear here. It's all about partnerships today. I mean, you can't do it without. We all can't do it on our own. We need that help from others, and I think this is a great partnership that's happening right here. So
Absolutely.
Can't wait to see more of these brookies out into the
You'll have to come back.
I know.
They've made them They've made them my favorite fish.
It's one of the prettiest.
Beautiful.
They are beautiful.
They are. So we'll come back with a fishing rod next time, maybe.
I like it.
And we'll do a little fishing. So, Shannon, thank you.
Thank you.
Mark, thank you.
You're welcome.
And Mimi, as always, thank you for
my pleasure.
Making these happen. So. This is Tennessee WildCast. You can find us online. You can find us out there on the radio. We're on TV. Just find us. Go to tnwildlife.org and find us there, and just keep coming back. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for tuning in. Stay connected with TWRA by visiting our website at tnwildlife.org and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Hey, it's all about Tennessee wildlife. It's what we do. Tennessee WildCast will be on the air again next week. We'll see you then.